It's an art form because
I think anything that involves creativity is an art.
Because it involves the passion to create.
Combination of many things.
And like everything about it is an art.
my name is Sage.
I'm Alex Alcacid.
David D'Angelo.
GP Manalo.
Tim.
JM Torres. And we're
I'm
I'm a cosplayer.
Siguro kung ina-narrow down mo yung meaning ng cosplay is costume and play. Our very own Mascara Festival is some sort of cosplay, diba? Yung nagmamaskara sila. That's a form of cosplay. Yung Gigantes Festival is also, ewan ko lang kung sinusuot nila yung binubuhat. Kasi kung sinusuot mo tas malaki, so cosplay yun. Pero kung buhat mo, hindi yung cosplay. So, as long as nagsusuot ka ng costume, di ba? Like yung Moro-Moro.
Aring sinungaling, bakit di sinunod? Ang inuutos ko at pinagbibiling. Magpakatatag ka, lilot pala kayo. Ang iyong wining nga, ngayon malalagot. Murang tayo fantastic lang mamasa. Sa oras na ito magpakatatag ka. Kapag namali ka, lilot pala mara. Katapusan ngayon. Na iyong wining nga.
It's also cosplay. Kasi di ba, nagpe-play ka ng character. So that's also cosplay. The first event related to cosplay was, I think, started at UB Diliman. So it's a small gathering where there are cosplayers, and it was entirely about anime, manga, and art. And then some people went na naka-cosplay sila. Then there was this anime explosion.
Noong November 2000, yung convention name, Anime Explosion. Bale, nung time na yon, it was organized by Art Farm Asia. Parang animation studio na nasa Mandaluyong, tapos sila yung nag-organize ng event. Pinromote din nila yung convention kasi merong sikat na anime nun, yung Fushigi Yugi.
So it was the first mainstream cosplay event. So siguro ilan lang din yung umattend. Siguro around, the cosplayers were around like 20. So parang, kasi tingin sa cosplay way back then was parang, geek naman ng mga yun, parang tanga sila. Nakasuot ng yun, di ba? When you're in a company na parang, alam mo yung super high profile bosses, it's like, pag nalaman kang cosplayer, parang, ha?
when it comes to cosplay, all of a sudden, yes, this really bad stigma that, oh, you're just a big man child or woman
Bunch
child,
of nerds.
or you're just a bunch of nerds, you know.
I did birthday parties and events, whatever, and they would like not pay me at all. That's the greatest challenge, and they would perceive me in a way where they're saying, nag-costume ka lang eh, ba't pa namin ikaw bibigyan ng ganitong like this big of amount of money for just because you're just dressing up and showing up in our event. And I said, yeah, well, I'm working 8 hours and you're not giving me any allowances, and like I'm not eating and you're just making me stand there for 8 hours, no breaks, so I kind of deserve like at least 2,000 or more.
Perception nila na weird, childish, na wala ka masyado, parang isip bata. Nakikita ka ng mga ibang tao na, yung weird naman niya kasi kulay red yung hair, ba nagko-cosplay, ganyan-ganyan.
It's an art. It's not a joke. I don't like jokes.
There are multiple art forms in cosplay. Crafting props is an art form. So many intricate details and designs into your props. That's not easy. Making a costume is hard. You need to learn the art of, sewing, embroidering, all of these things.
One of my characters is a centaur. It has upper body and it has 4 legs like a horse. And I was thinking, how can I make it walk like a horse? So it challenges me to think of the mechanisms to make everything work.
And another one, and I think this is the most, for me, it's the most important. I would have to say makeup.
I cannot do makeup at all. I can't. I realized, who's gonna do my makeup? Oh my god! So I had to learn how to do that on the spot, and the only time I got to do that properly was Enchantress.
Enchantress,
most recently.
actually,
that went
yeah.
well, so okay.
6,000 years. After everything I did for you, after everything me and my brother did to you.
That's what makes you transform into someone else completely. When I'm watching a music video or when I'm watching a series and I see like a character I like for example, in this case, the vocalist, I think he looks cool. So I say, okay, I'll cosplay this guy. So after I end up finishing the song and stuff, that's when I start going to Google. And then when the results pop in, I'll look for a picture where he shows his hairstyle. So in this case, that's what his hair looks like, meaning I'll have to style my wig that way. And then next is I have to look for what his jacket looks like. Save the image, put everything into an album, and then that's when I start practicing the makeup. Actually, a lot of my cosplays, a lot of my wigs, and a lot of my props, my mom actually sponsored a lot of them because she's like, oh, your grades are good, you know your responsibilities in life. She's like, at least, I'd rather have you play around with makeup than have you accidentally get someone pregnant or do drugs or I put way too much. Yeah, that's more or less it. So this is my Grimjaw wig, my Ren wig, my random black wig I still haven't used because I got it for free one time. Another wig, another one. This is the one I'm gonna be using. Yeah, this one works. Trench coat.
Not that many people understand it. They just see it as a mascot or somebody in a costume. But these are people who actually characterize these characters and they're performers.
A lot of the characters I've portrayed, more or less, are shirtless. So every day, I'm on the floor doing exercises, doing my training just to maintain my physique so that I can properly portray the character. Move him to the side. As he rolls, I kick.
I remember back in 2008, I was fresh from watching The Dark Knight. Months later, I remember making voice impressions of the Joker from the movie, Heath Ledger's Joker at least. Cut 2 years later, when I grew up, I realized the best Joker is Mark Hamill. I studied his voice and how it slides up high and then slide down low.
Hello, Gotham! Joker's back in town!
For me as a voice actor, being in costume and being in character also helped me understand the process of acting, actually. And it helps me improve behind the booth when I do voiceovers, when I do voice actings for any cartoons, animes, movies, live actions. It really helps out.
So, Dr. Ziegler, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Are you gay?
I am the complete opposite of Metaton, but yet as soon as I put the face paint on, the wig, I put on Metaton's outfit and just strut your stuff into a convention. Me as a person disappears, and then Metaton just comes out of nowhere, and I start doing all this stuff in the room, and I enjoyed it so much.
No, I wouldn't say mascot is the term. It's a cosplayer, a person who embodies that character, wants to make it real.
Honestly, no matter what the stigma of how cosplay is perceived here in our country, I would like to keep showing the Philippines that, hey, cosplay is not that bad. Cosplay can be used to help cheer up someone's day. Cosplay can give you basically life experiences in arts and craft. It can teach you how you can make someone's day better with one character at a time.
I was at con, and then there was this little kid, a little girl, and she just ran up to me and hugged me around my waist and said, "Elsa, you're my favorite character." I'm like, "Oh, you're so sweet, you're so cute." And I know I made her day because I showed up in costume.
She's your what?
She's my bae.
Why is she your bae?
Because she's nice. She's love. She's the ice queen.
Looky,
Yes.
let it go.
But seeing her face like light up and really appreciate just my being there is the reason why I cosplay.
The wonder in people's eyes when they see you cosplay, and the initial question, "Hey, can I have a picture with you?" and then your reply in character.
So Genji, can I ask you something?
You can ask anything.
What is your Halloween costume?
My Halloween costume? Cyborg Ninja.
Oh, that is fabulous. You know what my Halloween costume is?
What is it?
Nothing. I only have one body.
It's a personal satisfaction that I never thought I would be able to feel in my daily, everyday life, you know?
When I go to a convention, I go there, it's like escaping from reality. It's like the convention is this one big pocket universe where we can like let our geek flag fly in a way. So I really like the aspect where you go to the convention, you meet people, and they get it. It's not just, oh, you know, you're weird, you're in costume. No, you don't meet anybody like that in a convention, or even in an event like this. They still think that you're a real superhero, you're a real princess, you're a real movie character.
A lot of people say it's a good thing, a lot of people say it's a bad thing. It's a good thing, of course, in my case, because it helped me become more interactive with people. I stopped being a shut-in. I stopped keeping to myself all the time. I actually have a social life now.
I will never tire of this beautiful feeling I get every time I put on my outfits.
Cosplay shouldn't be taken for granted, and I consider it an art because you express yourself. You can't wear a simple t-shirt or jeans to turn into Batman. You gotta find things, have it made, and be resourceful, and perform. The world's a stage, so that's an art in itself.
What would you say to beginner cosplayers, those who want to cosplay and those who want to cosplay but are not allowed by their parents?
Remember that this is not a cheap hobby. You always have to push yourself to be a better you, not only in personally, but also in cosplay.
Una ko recommendation, if you want to cosplay, cosplay right. Kung may gusto kang character, aralin mo talaga yung character. Ano yung itsura ng mata niya, ano yung kulay ng buhok, ano yung damit niya.
Study so much of their history, performance-wise, and you really have to study what they like, what they are as a person, how they react to certain things, you know.
Cosplaying is an art. So dapat, hanggat maaari, gayahin mo yung suot. The best way you can. Magpalit yung character, it does not mean na kailangan pet ka rin. As long as, una, makuha mo yung suot sana. Pangalawa, sana yung characteristic na ma-portray mo rin. Cosplay is not just about wearing the costume and walking around. That's not cosplay. That's costuming ang tawag natin doon. Nagko-costume ka.
If you're beginning, don't be afraid. Because we all start somewhere. Everyone starts as a beginner. You don't turn into a professional overnight. Don't be afraid.
If people like throw flack at you, don't mind them. If it's constructive criticism, take it.
And when you get bashed by people, just ignore it because one day you're gonna prove them wrong.
Marami kayong may kilalang friends, tapos yun nga, mabuboost yung self-confidence ninyo. Try nyo lang. Sobrang saya mag-cosplay. Sobrang daming effort na binuboost namin dito.
Yung mga nagko-cosplay pero hindi sila pinapayagan ng parents.
I think they should invite their parents to a cosplay event para they would see what it's like.
I would have to say that if you really like it, then try to do it anyway. If you don't have money, you could be resourceful.
Just say it as it is. You can just say, Mom, I know it's a weird hobby, but I love doing this.
Try asking them, try convincing them. But if the answer is no, obey your parents. Because at the end of the day, your parents are your #1 supporters.
Or you can just go for the usual, Mom, at least it's not drugs.